Well, thank you, Mike Kellett, a former police officer with 30 years experience and APT board member, for coming to the APT today. What would you say is wrong with using information obtained by torture?
Well, I think there is a clear ethical dilemma. On the one hand, you have the clear, unambiguous prohibition of using information or evidence that's been obtained by torture in legal proceedings, and that's absolutely correct. And the purists would say that the same rules should apply to intelligence and information that's been obtained in that way. And as a general principle, it is of course absolutely right that no encouragement should be given to people who use torture as a means of obtaining information. However, intelligence agencies, law enforcement agencies are faced from time to time with ethical dilemmas. They have to have relations with foreign intelligence services that perhaps don't use the same or don't hold themselves to the same ethical standards that they should hold themselves to, if they're presented with information that may be useful in preventing terrorist acts in their own country or in another country, they have to decide what they're going to do with it. Unfortunately, in recent years, we've experienced a lot of unethical practice in relation to obtaining information from suspects. We've still got the issue of Guantanamo Bay that's not been resolved yet. We've got issues not just in the United States but in the United Kingdom and in other countries relating to how terrorist subjects are treated. So that all of that makes it a very relevant topic that needs to be discussed. But I think it's a mistake to think that the principles that we've been discussing are restricted just to international terrorism. The principles of dealing with information and intelligence that has been obtained in unethical and illegal ways relates to transnational crime, organised crime, but it also in the domestic sphere it can be a feature of domestic legal systems and domestic law enforcement systems, and the need for some guidance, I think, is to law enforcement agencies and intelligence and security agencies is quite important at the moment.
We've been talking about intelligence, security and police today, but police are the more visible of these actors. Should the police be held to the same or higher standards, in your opinion, than, for example, national security agents?
I think it's very important that the same principles apply to every agency that deals with information and intelligence and that exchanges information and intelligence with other agencies, either at the domestic level or at the international level. The principles apply. Torture is torture, whether it's inflicted by police officers or by the military or by anybody else. And in the same way,